Are there benefits for a 30-year-old guy to date his own age or older?
A 30-year-old guy?
Mm-hmm.
Well, at what you'll notice if you're at least fit and in shape is when you get into your early 30s as a man, you have women that are around that age and a few years older, they become very aggressive because they notice that men don't pay them the same amount of attention that their girlfriends that are 10 years younger than them get. And so they got to work harder. Whereas before, they would just go to a bar and look hot, and dudes come up to them all night. When they typically get into the 30s, it's not happening as much. When they see, and plus they are confident and they kind of know what they want. They've had their heart broken enough times. And when they see a guy that's got some presence and confidence, because typically us guys really start to peak in our 30s, mid to late 30s. And like I said, that age, you get a lot of women your age and older that become aggressive, more aggressive than you might be used to. Whereas the younger women, you still typically are going to be approaching and talking to them, initiating conversations. And when I was that age, I liked it because they work harder for you. It feels good. Whereas when you're most of the time you're a average dude in your mid 20s, this Chad Thundercock is getting all the attention from those age girls, and then you get into your 30s, things change. It's a different vibe because guys have confidence, they're competent, hopefully at their careers by them, so they're successful, they're making some money, and when they do well and they're happy, women are trying to get their attention more because they're giving off a different vibe. So, but me personally, just because men and women age and mature differently, it's always best to date younger, especially as you get older, if you want to have a family.
I mean, you guys are 30, so what would be your opinion on that? Like, what would you think about a 30-year-old guy who's...
I've dated people my own age. Did it work out? No.
What have you noticed maturity-wise, guys that you dated that were your age versus guys you dated that were older?
Oh, I like the older guys a lot more. They have their shit together.
Yeah, but you could be older and you may have your shit together, but you're probably just an immature piece of...
Everyone's immature.
Every
Every single
matter
man
what
is immature. It
age
doesn't
you
matter
are.
how fucking old you are. You can be 80-something years old and you're still gonna act like a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be.
They never grow out of that.
No, but I'm saying to the point where
Never
they're
quit
just
playing.
like very red pill.
What does that mean?
Red pill?
What does that mean to you?
Like-
Very red pill.
That they act like little kids, or that they're too sensitive, or that, say, if you reject them, they get mad. You know, typical red pill.
Oh, you're talking about guys in the red pill community that get
Yes.
butthurt at everything. So you've encountered
Yes.
them out in the real world, and they're kind of angry and pissed off,
Yes.
condescending.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I see a lot in the comments. And I did a couple videos this week, kind of roasting them, the guys in the red pill community, because they're so angry. And I see it in the phone sessions. I talked to a dude the other day, and what was going on in his marriage. He got into the red pill, and he just turned into an arrogant dick and started being a dick to his wife. He started cheating on her because one of the other red pill guys that he followed was like, "Hey, your wife should bring you food and raise your babies, and you should have your mistress on the side." And
Excuse
so he went out and started living that.
There's guys that are older that still do
messed
that.
messed up his
I
marriage.
hope his dick falls off, or he meets Lorena Bobbitt.
So
Probably has little
that's not very
nipples.
nice. But point being,
I'm allowed to say what I want.
the point being
Little
is
everything.
it's not helping them. And so what I see in the majority of the comments from guys that claim to be red pill or that are in it, they're very angry, they're very bitter, they're very I mean, I see the comments, the things they say to you girls, and it's just kind of indicative of the movement as a whole. That just like you said, guys that are into that stuff, they're really butthurt and they get upset easily. And they're some of the nastiest, hateful comments that I see directed towards me, and obviously you girls, come from those guys who claim to be red pill. I was like, if that dude is behaving that way and talking to women that way, it's like he's getting nowhere. He's getting nowhere.
He probably doesn't get any punani.
He belongs to
Zero.
the streets.
He's probably on the streets looking for it, and he's still not getting it, even if he offers to pay
Remember
for
that guy in the van?
you told us about?
Oh, Snake Man.
Oh, the Snake Man. Yeah.
Has anybody heard anything about Snake Man? We're still inquiring any information.
She's inquiring.
We just want to know where he's at geographically.
How's he
for
doing in life
scientific
right now?
purposes. We
That
want to
was
just
when the mystery method, all that stuff was going around, the pickup artists, because the guy that was mystery, he wore like this top hat and had goggles on the top hat, and he wore like thick makeup and
huh?
dark. He did magic tricks, I think, and he would paint his fingernails black, and he had all these routines and things that he would do. He'd meet,
Chris
meet
Angel?
girls in the club. No, and it was the original pickup artist community.
Oh, he's a Casanova dude.
Well, I don't know about that, but
Casanova.
he had a book called The Mystery Method, and then he was in Neil Strauss's book that was a bestseller, The Game, and it was partly based on that. And so these guys would like live in this house, and their whole thing was trying to pick up and meet and seduce as many women as possible. They weren't really trying to have relationships. And I think some part of the book, I read excerpts of it. We're talking about how some of the guys just pitched a tent in the yard of this house that they were all at and bringing girls back to
And a tent?
hook it up in the tent because they were
That's so classy.
they were like nerds and dorks and they had never gotten any ass in their lives.
That's
So they
very ratchet.
well, they got in. They
Yeah,
got in the
I'm
pickup
gonna hop
artist
in this
community, and that
tent
was the
real
whole
quick.
thing was like learning these skills and these routines, and it did work. But like you saw in the book, it when they met a girl they really liked and started a relationship, all they had was the magic tricks and the routines, and the women quickly figured out there was nothing else. They a
Pick
lot of them
card,
weren't even
any
working.
card.
I had a guy that used to work for me when I was in real estate. He was very successful, had a wife. He had I think 2 or 3 kids. And he was, kind of religious Christian. He was just very arrogant and condescending, like he was better. And my wife's hot, and we met in college, and we got our Dodge minivan, and we're awesome. And so they were investing in properties, and they had a bunch of real estate. And she basically cleaned out all of his accounts, the business accounts, and quitclaimed a lot of the signed quitclaim deeds and quitclaimed a lot of the property out of the corporation to herself and just took everything and then left him. And then plus, at that point, this was like 2007, 2008 when the economy was really hitting the shitter. And I actually remember Andy and we'd be out downtown and we would see this dude out there, and it's like, didn't matter. It was like 7 nights a week. He was out there chasing ass, just trying to meet new girls and seduce them and take them home because that was his validation. Partly because his wife had left him and cleaned him out. And
he needed a couch
I
to sleep
I
on.
thought to myself, I was like, he was just such a dick, and he had done some things I'm not going to go into when he worked for us that were really ratchet and underhanded. And I was like, you can't outrun karma. It's like he experienced the worst of it, but point being is back to the book. He got involved in the same pickup artist community, started learning mystery stuff. I used to see some of these guys downtown. I remember one night, this guy had like a belt, and it was like kind of like a mini boom box, and it had like lights on it, and he had like a weird hat and stuff, and they were just walking around, and so like their whole outfit was, it's what they called peacocking. It's
This
like the dude with the
sounds
snake. It's
very
or
creepy.
somebody with a dog.
Snake Man clearly likes ass for sure.
So they would have some kind of peacock that the girls would be like, they're all out drinking with their friends. They're like, what is that thing? He's got music playing with it, and then he's got magic tricks, and then a certain percentage of the girls they'd be down to go
That's
hook up.
kind of tacky.
It worked. It was fascinating to me, but like I said, this guy that used to work for me was a family man, always bragging about how Christian and religious they were, and his wife cleans him out, and then because the economy in the real estate business was just totally decimated, I think he was working at the mall as a clerk somewhere after he'd been a very successful real estate agent and investor.
Selling curling
But he got in the and this guy was like he was my age, so you imagine we're like late 30s, and he's out downtown like 7 nights a week trying to pick up new women and seduce them and get better at it. And it went on for like years. It's like they become addicted to it. It was interesting.